The 30th of October 2017 Ferrari driver Kimi Räikkönen says a difficult opening lap skewered his prospects of challenging for overall honors at the Mexican Grand Prix. Räikkönen, from 5th on the grid, maintained his position on the run to turn 1 but lost out under braking, and fell down the order, completing the opening lap in 9th place. Räikkönen benefited from Sebastian Vettel, Carlos Sainz Jr. and Felipe Massa pitting after early dramas, before he ran long, and profited when the virtual safety car was deployed. Räikkönen emerged from the pit lane in 3rd position, which he preserved for the remainder of proceedings, substantially adrift of compatriot Valtteri Bottas, but clear of teammate Vettel. After the difficulties in qualifying, 3rd place is not too bad, but obviously it is not what we were looking for, said Räikkönen. The start was not too bad, but then I moved to the left and lost the toe. I found myself blocked and lost many places in the first 2 corners. Then I had to wait for the cars in front to stop to be able to push and gain positions. My car was a bit better than in qualifying and we had decent speed. Once I was 3rd, I could try to catch up, but I was too far from Valtteri and there was nothing I could really do. I focused on finishing the race and on keeping my position. Räikkönen believes that the speed has been there for Ferrari throughout the campaign, but that it must iron out its issues if it is to challenge on a more regular basis in 2018. This year we have made a good step forward from last season, but obviously we still have a few small things to improve, said Räikkönen. I think that in this season we've had a good and solid car. Lately we've had some issues, but the speed has been there. Obviously too many DNFs cost us a lot in the championship, and for next year we have to minimize those issues, improve things and learn from this season. Latest news 11:02 Kevin Magnussen has compared his 8th place finish at the Mexican Grand Prix to a victory for Haas, after he rose up the order. F1 10:32 Lewis Hamilton became the most successful British driver in F1 history after securing a 4th title in Mexico. JeepUpdate.net has F1 1006 Lewis Hamilton celebrates in the paddock and pit lane with his Mercedes team after securing a 4th Formula One world title at F1 0957 Daniel Ricciardo reckons Max Verstappen's renewal with Red Bull has made my position stronger in the driver market, as he vows. F1 0926 Red Bull driver Max Verstappen will carry out a demonstration run in Formula One machinery in Las Vegas later this week, fresh. F1 0916 Renault Managing Director Cyril Abiteboul has accepted that the manufacturer misjudged the balance between performance and F1 0542 catch up with Red Bull's Max Verstappen as he embarks on an entertaining bus journey from his hotel to the Autodromo Hermanos. F1 1732 F1 1708 McLaren driver Stoffel Vandoorne believes the squad's lack of straight-line speed and a mistimed virtual safety car-related pit. F1 1634 Max Verstappen breezed to victory after an audacious opening lap move on Sebastian Vettel, as a delayed Lewis Hamilton clinched. F1 1524 In the wake of clinching his 4th world title, Lewis Hamilton took questions from the media, in a press conference organized. F1 1414 Ferrari-backed Formula 2 Charles Leclerc champion will carry out running for Sauber at this week's Pirelli tire test at the F1 1326 Max Verstappen has admitted that the array of problems which affected other Renault-powered cars left him worried during his F1 1257 Mercedes driver Lewis Hamilton reflects on his 4th Formula One World Championship and implores others never to give up. In this F1 1252 Force India Deputy Team Principal Bob Fernley praised the outfit as it secured 4th position in the Constructors' Championship. F1 1120 Marc Marquez says he adopted a conservative approach with the title in mind at the Malaysian Grand Prix, once it was clear he Motive 1032 Fernando Alonso says Lewis Hamilton has had it too easy in 2017 and has vowed to give his former teammate a harder time when F1 1002 Ferrari driver Kimi Räikkönen says a difficult opening lap skewered his prospects of challenging for overall honors at the F1 0858 Red Bull's Daniel Ricciardo was left through a pretty grim Mexican Grand Prix and believes there was a fundamental issue which F1 0736 Lewis Hamilton feels that he clinched the 2017 world title in a horrible way after coming home 9th at the Mexican Grand F1 0532 to find out more about the Bloodhound supersonic car, which is aiming to break the world land speed record, and be the first to miss 0348 Motor 2302 F1 2250 Force India's Esteban Ocon believes he would have been able to secure his maiden Formula One podium in Mexico without interference. F1 2207 Valtteri Bottas says he has been surprised by just how hard Lewis Hamilton works behind the scenes, after joining him at F1 2151 Sebastian Vettel says Lewis Hamilton has done a superb job in Formula One this season and is fully deserving of the 2017 F1 2130 Nico Rosberg sends former Mercedes teammate Lewis Hamilton a short message in the wake of the Briton clinching his fourth world. F1 2125 Max Verstappen hailed a perfect response to his penalty last time out in the United States as he stormed to victory in F1 2104 Lewis Hamilton says it doesn't feel real to have clinched a fourth world title at the end of a dramatic Mexican Grand Prix. F1 2043 F1 2041 Lewis Hamilton claimed the 2017 title, and his fourth overall, with a ninth-place finish at the Mexican Grand Prix, as read. F1 1832 F1 1711 F1 1633 Daniel Ricciardo is set to drop to 16th place on the grid after Red Bull elected to fit new power unit components to his RB13. F1 1606 with the Mexican Grand Prix taking place over 2,200 meters above sea level, McLaren explains the challenges posed by the high. F1 1418 Andrea Dovizioso described his Malaysian Grand Prix weekend as perfect as he secured back-to-back Sepang wins, keeping his Motor 1336. Pierre Gasly admits he is heading into the Mexican Grand Prix with a lack of preparation off the back of a strange weekend in F1 1245 joined Ferrari once more as the team goes behind the scenes with Sebastian Vettel and Kimi Räikkönen at the Autodromo Hermanos. F1 1152 Sebastian Vettel became only the fourth driver in Formula One history to record 50 pole positions, joining Lewis Hamilton. Michael, F1 1124 Sergio Perez says he hopes to give his fans something to celebrate in race trim after expressing disappointment with his F1